Hi, my name is Gustavo Stefan Diaz Martinez. I'm 20 years old and I'm currently live in Vitama, Boyacá. And I'm studying degree in English as a foreign language in its sixth semester. I hope that we can work together as partners in the collaborative works and making feedback of the individual works to improve the educational process in this subject. Thank you. The linguistic is a deep study of language since its origin, historic evolution, internal structure like grammar, phonetic, and phonology, and the knowledge that its speakers have about their own language. Chafe, in 1994, said that he finds helpful to think of linguistic form as if it were located in a pane of glass through which ideas are transmitted from speaker to listener. Under ordinary circumstances, language users are not conscious of the glass itself, but only of ideas that pass through it. This idea wants to say that most of the users of language, that means speakers and listeners, don't know the linguistic stories about their own language, but they don't need it to use the language every day. All the time that people use language is looking through the glass, but they don't look the history and rules of language. They just look the tip of the iceberg. The words translate into ideas. The study of linguistics is a complex field which is part of a pedagogical environment. I think that some people have the fear of committing mistakes practicing this field since teaching. However, in each area of this field, the apprehensiveness will fade away through years of practicing and working in language science. By the other hand, talking about the study and teaching of a foreign language causes, in my personal opinion, more apprehensiveness in people that have not been in a native country of the target language. I think that some of the people are afraid of never produce and understand to perfection the rules of the target language, in this case the English language. But this is not my case, or not at all, because I trust in my abilities and in the improvement of the foreign language that I study. However, just like of the most of people always will have the fear of work in a new field without experience, and to ruin it. I think that correctness makes part of the linguistic study. In fact, it's not the principal objective of linguistics, but while this study the structure of language, it also takes care of correct mistakes in its use. However, according to the question, linguistics is not about correctness in language. Perhaps it covers the correction of mistakes and the area that make parts of pedagogy is responsible of teaching how to use language in a perfect way, in all its sense, speaking, listening, writing, and reading, with all its grammatical rules. But linguistics don't focus in the way that people use the language. Part of Ferdinand de Saussure, the father of modern linguistics, we can find figures like Noam Chomsky. He proposed an important theory in linguistics field, named as generative grammar, and is also considered by some people as the rockstar of current linguistics. In second place is Roman Jakobson, a Russian born at the beginning of the 20th century. He was one of the first that proposed structural analysis of language. He could be labeled as the father of phonetic and phonology in linguistics field. Finally, we can find an anthropologist named Edward Sapir. He uses historical linguistics in the Native Americans language and exposes that those languages have a complex grammatical structures. He also labeled as the father of Sapir-Whorf hypothesis.